Happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween. We are filming this in the last week of October, and Halloween is coming up. So we figured we'd do something a little spooky.
Yeah. So the movie that we wanted to watch, and we just finished watching it.
20 minutes ago.
Yep. And it is Boo! A Madea Halloween. That came out in 2016. We started this off with a Madea movie.
So let's dive into it. Let's go.
Okay, so to keep this somewhat organized.
This is produced by MGM. Came out in 2016. We did take notes.
We took a lot of notes, but to keep this somewhat organized, so we don't just like talk about the movie all over the place.
Right.
We kind of split our review into a few different sections, and we'll go from there. So
that's right.
Let's start with what we thought of the acting in the movie.
Okay, so for the thing is, I said this to you after about an hour into the movie. I was like, there are no actors in this movie. There are influencers and models.
There's lots of influencers and models.
There's who's in there? There's
so
Liza Koshy.
We had Liza Koshy,
who's actually very funny, but just not in this movie.
Yeah, she. It seemed like, Liza Koshy, she has always been somebody who creates her own content.
Yeah, she's a personality.
She's a personality, but she's also a very talented writer. She built up her entire audience on YouTube by herself, playing a bunch of different characters.
I thought it was Vine.
YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think she was also on Vine.
Yeah, she's a very talented person.
But her YouTube channel is huge. She walked away from it, but she got like a huge YouTube contract now
she's a host of like a bunch of shows.
Yeah. So like Liza Koshy's in there.
Still working.
Jimmy Tatro of the Real Bros of Simi Valley. Have you not watched that?
No.
It's actually hilarious.
Okay.
It's actually hilarious.
Is it hilarious intentionally though?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
It's actually very good. Jimmy Tatro is actually very funny.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So he made an appearance, and same thing. Like he's a YouTube guy.
Yeah.
Him and he's like a mutual friend. Cam, nope.
Your mutual friend whose name you can't remember?
Yeah, mutual friend.
I remember him so well. What's his
not
face?
really. Not really.
Yes, what's
not
his
really.
face?
I forgot, but yeah. Anyway, him and his business partner created this show called Real Bros of Simi Valley, and it's very funny. I think they got a deal with Facebook.
Okay.
And they ended up blowing up. And then Anais Shafira, shout out to that's my friend Evan's husband.
Cool.
And
everybody.
He's a stunt performer, and
Yeah.
he's done a lot of work. He was like the main villain in Tron Legacy, and he also did a lot of stunt work.
But you never saw his face. He was always in the mask, right?
He was always in the mask.
Right.
Yep.
You know how I knew it was him?
How?
Because he started out doing a front flip in the movie.
I literally, as soon as I saw him, I was like, "Wow, this is a random movie for him." And then he flipped, and I'm like, "No, it's not." That's why
built his entire career on doing flips and shit.
And so now he's a stunt choreographer for a lot of like John Wick movies.
That's
and
awesome.
Mortal Kombat movies, and like he's the go-to stunt choreography guy. So.
I mean, you got to start somewhere.
Yeah. And then Fauci was in this movie. Another influencer who unfortunately seems like he's going through a tough time right now.
Can't comment on it.
And then I don't remember her name, but the twerk influencer.
Oh, yeah, the one who you were like, she looks familiar.
She looks familiar,
and then they have like a 5-minute twerking segment
there's
for her, and you were like, oh, I know who that is.
No, literally, I recognized her by the twerk. I was like, oh, that's her. and then like it all came together, and I was like, yeah, but they
make
literally
your career off something.
They literally spent 5 minutes letting her twerk and like and doing what she's known for.
That's going to be kind of like a running theme of this movie. Of
Absolutely.
Just things that just keep going on and on
Yeah.
and on to pad the runtime.
Oh my, lots of mostly padding runtime.
Yeah, there's no movie without the padding.
Not much plot. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. So those are just a few of the influencers. I think there's a few others in there.
Yeah,
I didn't really know them, but there's a lot of influencers in this movie.
A couple comedians.
Yeah,
a couple of actors actually did show up in the last 20 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, Lavelle Crawford was in there. Corey Holcomb was in there. Two comedians that are very well respected comedians.
Yeah, and they get kind of reduced to these know nothing parts.
Yeah, they just kind of. But I think that's like Tyler Perry's thing.
They're more cameos than actual.
I will say with Tyler Perry, I will say, despite that, he doesn't make movies for us.
Right.
make movies for me or you or anybody that we're really close with. Maybe my mom. But
Everett, tell us who the target demographic of this film is.
Yeah. So anybody that knows Tyler Perry, his target demographic is usually, I will say, Southern black women. Over the age of 50 to 60 years old.
Clearly not me.
And people that go to church, and so
also not me.
Yeah, so he's very in like the Southern Christian black woman demographic, and so that is what all of this is catered towards.
Right.
I say that because why did I say that? Because you asked me.
Because I asked you.
Because you asked me.
It's a good reason to say something because I asked you to do it.
No, that's very true. That's very true. But no, what I was going to say was, so Tyler Perry's thing, even though he doesn't make movies that are targeted towards us,
right.
I do respect him because he is so disconnected from, like, I'll just say, like, white Hollywood, like all the really rich white guys that call the shots in Hollywood. That,
I mean, he's made his own kind of like
he's made his own studio. He's made his whole own name.
I mean, entire kind of
literally a
franchise
studio.
Kind of, not just studio, but just
a whole
entertainment
universe.
Yeah.
The Perryverse.
The Perryverse. What a string. We're going
the Perryverse. I'm bringing this up because I really respect that he gives people an opportunity where they wouldn't get opportunities otherwise. So when you see a Corey Holcomb or Lavelle Crawford, it's likely that they, for one reason or another, aren't getting opportunities in anything other than like a very like smallish supporting role in Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Corey Holcomb's not getting any opportunities in Hollywood because he's just like so out there with whatever he says, whatever the hell he wants.
Yeah.
So
he's a very like identifiable face, but also like
he has no
niche.
Filter. He has no filter,
and that rubs people the wrong way sometimes.
Yeah, and no, it absolutely does. But the way that he has no filter, it offends the people that he would otherwise be needing to get a job from.
Right.
But it doesn't offend Tyler Perry, therefore, here's an opportunity.
Right.
So Tyler Perry is notorious for doing that, and so I respect him for that. Now, in terms of the rest of the acting, we might disagree on this.
Okay, real quickly, we talked about this. There is no script for this film.
There's no script. Well, that's a great point. So I'm glad that you brought that up.
It's hard to criticize the acting when there's no script to act off of.
There is zero script. Hold on, let me keep talking. I'm just
okay. So
camera.
there's
zero.
Like, we looked at each other again. 20 minutes into the film, I was like, "Is there a script for this movie?" And you were like, "No, it's just improvised, like winging it, going back and forth." But the thing is, I guess they get kind of like a prompt, basically, like AI. They get a prompt, and then they're like, just go with that, and then we'll cut it all together, and then try to make a scene out of it. The problem is, one, it's not very good. Two, it goes on and on and on. And Tyler Perry's method for improv is he repeats the same thing at least 2 to 3 times.
At least 2 to 3 times before he actually gets the line out.
He says the exact same line, just a little different.
Yeah.
He'll say, like, you can't go to that party.
You can't
I'm telling
you
can't go to that party. You hear what I said? You can't go to that party. And that's the thing. He says it 2 to 3 times. And it's like, if he didn't do that, the movie would cut at least a half hour off of it.
And again, as context, one thing that I do, and I will say this, as actors, we don't know this for sure because
we studied Shakespeare, by the way.
We literally, as actors, we literally don't know this for sure. However, as actors, like, it's not like the information was out there where we like looked it up. We literally picked it up immediately. Like, oh, there's no script.
There's no script.
They are improvising this 100%.
Because you can tell by the way that they're talking over each other.
Yep.
And kind of like the way it's cut and the way it's the back and forth. Again, there's probably prompts. There's probably like a skeleton of a script. Like, we want this to happen in the scene.
An outline of a script.
But kind of like, so you think of like great film improvisers with like Robin Williams.
Right. Yep.
Who's my personal favorite actor.
Good.
Because he was able to improvise the scene.
Right.
And keep the spirit of the scene intact and keep it going. And again, he probably had like 40 different takes that were like, we can't use any of this stuff.
Right, yeah.
But it feels like with this movie, they took the 40 takes that they couldn't use, and they were like, yeah, let's put that in the movie.
No, and you know, like, or great, another example of great improvising is like on The Office.
Yes.
Right? Like, but this did not feel like that.
No.
Even a little bit. This was, and I will even go as far to say as Tyler Perry likely had scripts or maybe like much more rigid guidelines of a script for all of the other actors, but had nothing for himself.
Well, so again, back to Robin, when he was doing Mork and Mindy, they would write the scripts and then they would just have segments that says Robin improvises here.
Got it.
And then they would continue with the script.
But it's Robin Williams.
But it was Robin Williams. But again, that was like his first thing. So, and it was like a couple years into the run.
Sure.
Where they were like, we know what we're going to get.
Or
Julie. With Madea.
With Madea, yeah. But not even just Madea. In all the characters he played, he kind of winged it.
Yeah, it all felt very winged, which again, in some cases, can work. Really well. It can give a very natural feeling. To a film. Sometimes.
I will say this. We're just gonna talk about Tyler Perry's acting in this first.
Yeah. It's
so I will say. How many characters did he play? He played three characters.
3 characters? He played the dad.
His best character out of the 3.
Because it's the most grounded.
Was the dad. Oh, no, not the dad.
The dad. No. Madea, her brother?
Her brother.
The grandfather, and then the dad.
The dad. Okay, I will say the grandfather was probably the best acting.
I think he had the funniest lines.
That's the reason, and this is why I think he had the best acting, because he had the least lines.
Yes.
He was everything was very like I'll throw one joke at you.
Yes.
I'll throw one, and that worked because it wasn't you weren't trying to think of what the next thing you were going to say. It was just like, it's almost like he knew exactly what he was going to say for this like very like direct character. Like Madea, no, please no.
Just
the dad,
keeps going. It's annoying.
The dad, please no. Like you're talking too much.
Yeah.
But the grandpa, like it was just like these one-off jokes, and it worked for the character.
I mean, that's kind of one of the things when you have characters, that are like over the top, larger than life characters in a film.
Yeah.
That you always have to have a straight man and a character.
Yep.
And when sometimes the character is way more popular, and usually is, than the straight man or whatever, they get their own spin-off, they get their own movie, and then they get oversaturated, and the audience is like, I don't like this character as much as I used to like this character. You kind of see it with like Jack Sparrow in the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, where he's great as a side character,
right? But
as soon as he becomes the lead,
main guy,
it's not as great. And when you have Madea, who is the lead character, who is a character on top of him playing another character, improvising with himself.
Right, yeah.
And then there are the 2 other characters, Aunt Ma'am and the name I can't remember the other.
Yeah, like
the horny one.
Yeah. I think her name was Hammy or something
Hammy.
like that.
And it's like
Hattie.
It is way too overstimulating.
Yeah.
It is. You lose all sense of groundedness. You lose all sense of reality. You're like, what are the rules? There are no rules because nothing matters.
There's most I will say all but like maybe 1 or 2 characters in this movie are like characters.
Yeah.
There's not, like you said, there's not too many straight like grounded characters in this movie.
Yeah, to balance
and so the balance is way off. However, I wrote this down.
Oh, he's got a note.
Ladies and gentlemen, he has a note. I have a note. That is why Madea movies in particular are so successful.
Really?
Because that is why people keep coming. That, you know how many 13, 20 Madea movies?
Yeah, 13, 20. Like, she appears in a couple other movies, but there are 13 title characters.
You would not think that they do.
Doesn't make sense.
They love that the chaos of it.
Yeah,
that's why they watch these movies. They want to see the funny, the chaos, and so we'll get to plot in a second. But
okay,
we'll get to plot in a second,
yeah.
but. That's why it's like 80% banter and like padding and like 20% plot is because the people that go and watch these movies, they don't give a fuck about no plot. Yeah. They want to see the loud banter.
They want to see the clown.
They want to see the
thing.
Yeah, exactly. They want to see the clown do the funny thing.
Yeah.
And so that's
do the thing. Say the line. Say hello.
Exactly.
That's what I paid.
Exactly.
That's what I'm here to see. Say the line.
Say the line.
I want my content. I want my slop. Give it to me. That's what I paid for. I know what I'm gonna get.
And listen, everybody has their slop. We all have their slop.
I love some slop.
This is the slop for the demographic that we were talking about.
Yeah. And which is why it doesn't appeal to us at all.
And nobody else can. He has that demographic.
No, it's his. He's got it by the short one.
Nobody will ever come close to do.
No,
he's a billionaire.
He made $1 billion
off of Madea.
Yeah.
Off of and
it just shows that you really don't need to put any real work into anything in order to be successful.
Well, I will rebuttal this. I'm sorry. I will rebuttal this.
We're gonna say there's no script, there's no acting.
No.
Made a full feature film.
I will rebuttal this because I have to give Tyler Perry his props. And
you're right. I'm being unfair.
To be specific about how we got to the Madea movies.
Yeah.
Right. And I said it to you before.
When was the first Madea movie? Actually, you think like early 2000s or 90s?
It was no. It was early 2000s. It was early 2000s. I don't know which one it was off the top of my head.
Oh, it's called Madea.
No.
Or she appeared as another character.
She appeared as another character in another film, and then
again, people were like, "I want to see more."
Madea was a character. Remember, no, this was a stage play before.
Right.
This was a touring stage play.
Again, I would have no idea because I'm an ignorant white boy.
Yeah. Well, luckily, my mom is a black woman. So, luckily, my mom is a black woman. So I have, and so are my aunts. And so I know plot twist, but I have some insight. And so Tyler Perry is not foreign to me. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I know
always in the background.
It's always in the background. It's like my mom wants to go see this movie. My aunt wants to go see this movie, and I hear about it, and they won't stop talking about it. And so I know of Tyler Perry movies. I've watched a few of them.
Yeah.
And
you have.
And now, I have. Some of them are really good.
Really?
Some of them are Madea. Like there might be one good Madea movie, but
I think doesn't she appear in a couple dramas?
Yeah, I think that's the one. Those are the ones that I'm talking about. Those are the ones that are actually pretty good.
Bizarre.
But we'll watch them.
Oh. Will.
But
okay. We're gonna watch some movies.
Again, like this being like it started off as like Tyler Perry started this character as Madea and would go to these different church plays, like very small church plays, and that character just became like infectious to people. And all the other characters, all the other characters in the movie, like those are actual reoccurring characters in Tyler Perry plays and movies, and so there is some continuity through the Perryverse. And that's what, but no, it's like Tyler Perry's version of Marvel movies. It's like people just love this ongoing story and this ongoing universe, and so they're gonna keep watching these movies regardless of the.
It's familiar.
It's familiar.
And it's slop, and it's
it's also comfort food for people. It's comfort food.
Yeah. So we all have our comfort food. Films and slop and whatever. We don't have to really pay attention to it. It makes us feel good to watch.
Yeah.
And that's okay for people to have.
Yeah. So
it's also okay for people to criticize.
Yeah. Oh, and that's what we're here. Yeah. No. That's why we're not here to criticize it. We're just here to analyze it.
Sorry.
We're actually trying to understand what's going on.
We are. Okay.
And so
sorry, I feel like we've gotten a little off topic.
No. It's not. This is all relevant because again, I just wanted to kind of like look at how did we get here?
Yeah.
And how did this grow into $1 billion?
Is it $1 billion or multi-billion?
It's probably a multi-billion now.
Yeah,
I remember when he announced that he was a billionaire, but now it's definitely a multi-billion dollar.
Amazing. Starting it doing like little bits at church,
and now he's built it up to a Madea
Enterprise,
right? And so now
Madea Corp.
Yeah, Madea Corp is amazing. But and so
welcome.
But yeah, the acting of it, obviously, as two like Shakespearean actors,
thespians. We studied in college.
Molière.
We did it all.
We did it all.
We went in. And we took it very seriously, I still take it very seriously.
Yeah.
You kind of pivoted a little bit.
I pivoted a little bit, but I still respect the craft greatly because it's made me who I am.
Yes,
you know?
but for me, like watching, everyone says that, like, why do they call it a play? Because people are having fun. Mm-hmm. And that's
semi-true.
Semi-true. Yeah. You should be able to have fun on stage. You should be able to do what you want. But some of the problem is when you have absolute creative control over a project.
Talk about it.
Nobody holds you accountable.
Jacob is spitting right now. No, this is keep going, because I love that point.
Yes. When you have absolute creative control, when you are producer, executive producer, like writer, creator, like no, you are going to be surrounded by yes men.
Yes.
And no one will ever tell you no. Or like, hey, maybe this isn't the best quality, or like maybe this isn't very good, or maybe we should try something else, or maybe this should stew a little bit longer.
Yeah.
We should cook this idea. There's something here. That doesn't happen. It's like, I am the boss. Everyone's going to tell me I'm right because I am right. And then, of course, it goes to their heads and they get some kind of deluded psychosis or whatever. And they just make whatever comes to their heads. And it doesn't go through any filter.
And you know why? Because Tyler Perry knows that it'll work.
Yeah.
No matter what he does, he knows. Listen, I'm the billionaire. This is what I want to do.
I'm successful for a reason.
We're doing what I want to do.
Yeah.
And
I pay your checks. I can fire you and hire somebody who will say yes.
And listen, man, like, he does have that reputation of being that type of person.
I mean,
he does have that, and there's a whole Atlanta episode about it.
Oh, really? I haven't seen that.
I will direct.
We're gonna watch that too.
No, we can watch that just for funsies. Actually, we could. But there's a whole Atlanta episode about spoof about Tyler Perry. But anyway, and a Boondocks episode. Yeah, Tyler Perry's got a reputation. But either way,
you don't get that way without
right.
There's no such thing as an ethical billionaire. It's just, we're putting it out there. It's like you don't get that way by being kind and generous.
Right.
And
exactly.
open and understanding to other people's ideas.
Right.
You get that way by being...
You kind of throw your elbows at people
Your elbows. You got to be really assertive to the point of aggressiveness.
Yeah.
And domineering and dominating.
Sure.
And you got to alienate a lot of people.
Yeah. Listen, at the end of the day, to him, it's a business.
Yeah.
It's a business. It's an empire.
And of course, we've seen a lot of shows and movies that have had studio interference that have ruined the original vision of the project.
Yeah, of course.
And sometimes studio interference does work out.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times it doesn't.
Yeah.
But you could tell here there was no studio interference.
No, this is his. This is mine, and we're gonna do this. I want to play 3 characters. I don't need lines. I'm just gonna go off the cuff. You guys all need lines.
You'll film it.
I'm just gonna say whatever.
Yeah.
And that's what we saw. So the acting. And the last thing I want to say, and then I want to hear what you have to say. But the last thing I want to say about the acting is, because Tyler Perry comes from theater, like us, but a little different, more like church theater.
Yeah, it's different.
But because he comes from theater,
not classically trained or musical.
No. I think the way that this movie, everything about this movie felt like it was just taking from, this is how we would do it in theater, and now we're just going to do it the same way that we would do it.
Yes.
On film, which we know
this worked in the church, so why don't we just put it over here
and that brought up a lot of issues that we both have about it.
This got a laugh to the audience, so we're just going to film it the exact same way.
Exactly. Which again, it works for his demographic, but for as people that are coming in watching this as analyzing the cinematic experience, we're kind of like, okay, the camera angles are weird. The lighting is weird.
The lighting is awful. They didn't have a lighting designer. They didn't. A lot of the characters were just like, get a backlight, get like a reflector pad, get some a lot of the characters are in shadow.
You can't even see their faces, and the acting. Again, this is the last thing I want to say about the acting, but the acting felt very over the top for a theater audience.
Yeah, well, it felt like Vine acting, kind of, or TikTok acting.
A little bit, but
this was obviously filmed before TikTok.
Yeah. But again, it felt like this, like they were performing it for the church audience.
Yeah, larger than life.
Larger than life, dude. And then improvising because, we don't call line or don't cut because we need to learn our... No.
We'll film it a few times from different angles, and then we'll just cut it all together.
How do we do it in the theater? We just go off the cuff. Let's just, you know what we're supposed to be doing.
And sometimes that works.
Yeah,
and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, so that was kind of how I saw the acting of all the characters. Was like they're kind of
a lot of them were really kind of like mugging the camera.
Yeah,
and like really like, oh, this is my moment. Yeah, like, and a lot like the influencers. You're like, oh, these guys don't know how to act. No, they don't know how to find their light. They don't know how to like cheat to camera. They don't know how to play something seriously.
There were probably like maybe one or two, and maybe they were. Listen, I will say everybody was an actor, but you can tell the ones that have been doing it for a while.
Yeah,
you can tell the ones that have been really.
Well, who was the actress who played the daughter?
I don't remember her name.
Yeah,
she looked familiar.
Yeah, hers was very much like, you're a young actress. Yeah. This is probably like your first big film.
Yeah.
Like you're doing your best.
Yeah.
But and again, you're with what you got. You don't got much to work with.
You don't got much to work with, but you're
And that's kind of the core thing about this. It's hard to act when you don't have much to work with.
Right. Yeah.
And yes, good actors can draw some,
it didn't feel collaborative at all.
Yes, it was very much, this is my project. Yep. We're going to do what I'm going to want to do.
Yeah. Well, it felt like every man for themselves.
Yes. This is my time in the spotlight.
Yes. Everybody, when any time somebody had a quote unquote a line, like you can tell that they're like, they didn't think of the context. The relationships weren't really established. There was no.
Oh, they mentioned she had a brother, and we were like, was that ever established?
What? we don't know what what was established, and so
what is the relationship with these people?
The lines were just thrown out there, and people were acting like people were acting. They weren't in the moment. So but again, it felt like none of that was really important because do that thing. Do that thing that we like.
Say the line that we like.
Yeah, exactly.
And again, so I will say this as, a struggling actor in the business. You see sometimes, it's rare, but it does happen a bit, where you see casting notifications that say, only submit if you have this many followers on your socials.
Oh, yes.
And that's really frustrating because you could be the most talented actor in the world or actress, and I'm not saying I am. I could be, but I'm not.
You're up there, sir.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. You're a gentleman and a scholar.
I believe it, though.
But they won't see you because I don't like social media. I don't use social media, and I haven't used it for a very long time. And I just recently started getting back into it. I have maybe 120-something friends or followers on Instagram. And so they hire people based off their popularity because they know they'll come and support. The fans will come and support and pay tickets to see the film. And so it's like, that's why they hired influencers.
Yeah.
Because they were a face. Yep. And because they were like, oh, they have 1 million fans on Vine or YouTube or whatever. Yeah. They'll probably pay money to come see their movie because they told them to. They're like, I'm going to be in this movie. You can come check me out and support me and pay, $13, $20 to come see this ticket.
Yeah.
And
like checking
boom, that's $1 million butts in seats.
That's in again, this was 2016, so this is like YouTube Vine peak. I think Vine was getting just about to get ready.
It was kind of like
about to be shut down, but they were all going over to YouTube, and that was kind of like the brand that was like the new Hollywood. Yeah. That's how they, that's actually 2016 is actually when like the new media contracts with SAG started to be established. Yeah. That's how I got my SAG card. But
SAG is a weird industry.
It is. So but yeah, no, it's the money. It's the money game.
It's the money game. This was definitely a movie not about telling a story,
No.
but about making money.
About making money.
And it felt like that.
And it definitely did.
Because when you watch a movie that makes you feel something,
Yeah.
where you're like, oh man, this has changed my life, or this made me actually genuinely happy,
Yeah.
or this made me think about something in a different way or a different light that I normally wouldn't have, you know that. And a lot of them are Oscar bait movies sometimes. Yeah. This movie was a make money movie.
Let's transition from that.
Yeah.
Let's transition into the story. Let's transition into the story of Boo, a Madea Halloween.
Yeah. Again, I'm gonna be referencing time frames a lot.
Please.
So 40 minutes into the movie, I look over at Everett and I go, "What's the plot of this movie? What is the plot?" So I think what we gathered was the plot was a 17-year-old girl gets invited to a frat party by a fraternity house that is on the same block as her.
On the same,
house?
yeah, like in the same neighborhood. Definitely on the same block or in the same neighborhood.
And I think her dad is a professor who is also played by Tyler Perry. I'm
Yeah,
not sure.
yes,
I think
yeah.
they said he was a professor, and
Okay.
also her friends were like, "He's so hot, and
Yeah,
he's so sexy,"
which was weird.
It was weird.
It was weird.
And it's very important that we mention she's 17 years old.
Yeah. It's kind of like
It is
the
a running
whole-
theme.
It is. It's too big of a theme for the movie, to
Right.
be honest with you. Like, but again, I get why.
Yeah.
I get it. It creates the stakes of the movie, I guess.
Right. And so she gets invited to this frat party. And she's like, "I want to go. I'm 17 and I want to have fun." And all her friends like, "We should go. We're 18 and also 17 and want to have fun."
Right.
And the dad pulls up, who is Tyler Perry, and he's like, "You are forbidden to go to that
can't
party.
go.
I forbid you to go to that party.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you can't go
You
to that
can't
party."
go to
So
that
said
party.
3 times.
Right. Yeah, he did. He in the same line.
In
That
the
those
same
weren't
line.
separate. Those weren't separate lines, by the way. That
Same
was
line.
all in the same line.
And she's like, "You're the worst." And then they go home.
Yeah.
And I guess nothing really happens for a while.
Nothing happens for a while. She argues with her dad some more,
And then he finds a text.
yes
on her.
Yes, her iPad is just sitting out.
Right, open.
Is sitting out on downstairs couch.
After he calls his wife and is like, "You have to take her because I'm going out of town."
Right, and she can't.
I don't
go to-
trust her alone.
She wants to go to this party and da 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 da.
And she's like, and you kind of hear the wife on the other side of the phone.
Yeah.
Like, "No, you can't."
No, yeah, right.
And then he sees the text on the iPad that
Right.
says like, wear something
Wear
sexy. I'm
something
excited.
sexy. Yeah.
She's texting one of the frat boys, I guess, who's like Johnny Boy.
Yeah, John, played by Fauci. Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "I don't know what to do. I can't. I gotta go out. I guess I'll call my aunt Madea
Yeah, my Aunt Madea. Yeah.
to come."
To come
Look after her.
to come watch her.
But this is like 40 minutes into the fucking movie.
Was it 40 minutes? Into
Almost
the movie?
40. Like a rule.
The movie's an hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah. A rule of film is that the plot has to kick in at least 25 minutes into the movie.
Yeah, it definitely took a long
time to realize what was going on.
Yeah.
And then, so Madea, we were introduced to Madea, and for some reason, she's sitting in the middle of the sidewalk with her friend Aunt Ma'am,
Yeah. That was okay.
scamming trick-or-treaters.
So this part is where, yeah, you're right, 100% right, because I didn't even realize what was happening at that point.
Yeah.
Because you were like, so wait, what's going on? I'm like, I'm still trying to figure it out, Jacob. I actually don't know what's going on. And so, yeah, the Madea and another, I'm not going to
Aunt Ma'am, I think?
Yeah, somebody.
Yeah, the one with the canes.
Yes, yeah. I think
Who has a marijuana card.
Yes. She had
That's
a marijuana.
another running joke.
Yeah, there's a lot
It's
of
legal.
Yeah, there's a lot of running like tropes in this movie, but they were just sitting outside in front of a house as like
not even in front of the house, like away
from the house,
on the sidewalk,
in front of their house, like in front of the house on the sidewalk,
like not in the lawn, not on the porch, but on
this is important because it threw both of us off.
But what are they doing, sitting in the middle
as
of
trick or treaters are coming up and giving them and taking candy and
are
saying,
walking behind them?
Yeah,
the trick or treaters are walking behind them.
But this is why I was saying it's a play. The way that they staged everything in this movie was as if they were doing a staged play. So imagine that scene. Imagine that scene on stage. It works. You're not gonna be if you're on stage. And and trick or treaters are going by. You're not gonna have everything. What is it? You're not gonna have everything upstage.
Right.
with like with all of the
and then
you're sitting on your
in front
porch.
of you and
you're
blocking.
gonna you want a lot happening. So they're in the middle of the street,
in the middle of the street with chairs,
with people with making the scene dynamic as people are walking in front and behind, and people are walking up, and so the way that it was shot, it's very much as if it was done on stage. So that's the first thing.
Yeah.
Second thing is we still didn't know what was going on in
Right.
terms of the plot, because we're like, wait, now all of a sudden, like Madea is trick or treat. Like Medea's not really introduced. It's just Madea,
and her friend, and they're like stealing candy from kids.
They're stealing candy from kids,
and they're just arguing for like 10 minutes. They're not talking about anything relevant to the plot, anything in general. They're just arguing with each other.
Well, this is the part that is the like do that thing I like. This is I just want to. I don't care what's going on. I just want to hear Madea. I just wanted to hear them. I just want to hear the banter.
Yeah, and again, there wouldn't be a film,
right,
if there wasn't like just this filler. It just feels like filler.
The Tyler Perry method is loose plot, all Madea.
And we're talking like most of the movie is like at least 30, 35 minutes of the movie is just kind of like that pointless banter of these characters arguing with each other and not actually progressing the plot.
It's 80% characters and 20% plot.
Yeah.
Like it's not and so after we get 10 minutes of them just banter,
they get a phone call.
They get a phone call of, "Hey, I need you to come watch my daughter, blah 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 blah."
And she's like, "I'm not going to do it." And he was like, "I'll pay you." And she's like, "I'll do it.
I'll do it." And then we cut to.
We also introduced the dad character and the horny grandma.
Yeah. So
on the street, they're pushing a box, and like she jumps out and scares them. And then she's like, "I hate Halloween," and that kind of introduces something. It's also the same clown mask that the frat boys used later on.
Was it the same mask?
It's the exact same clown outfits.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
So it's. Anyway, sorry, I'm jumping ahead.
No, you're not, because I didn't even put that together. It's like there's so many clowns.
Yeah,
so much clown.
They just use the same costume.
This doesn't even symbolize anything. It's
all the budget went into paying Tyler Perry.
And so now we go into all of Medea's like friends and family go to watch this girl.
Yeah, and again, there is a 15 minutes.
It's 15 minutes at least, dude.
Where they're just sitting in the living room arguing about how it's okay to physically abuse your child.
Yes.
And they talk about how the dad like was beaten so badly by Madea he ended up in the hospital at 4 years old. And his dad threw him off a roof and he had a pencil in his pocket and it pierced one of his testicles. So now he only has one testicle.
So this is where when Jacob kept bringing this up and I had to hold my tongue because I'm like, I need to save this for the pod. But this is why Evan Jacob is so important, because we have two cultures clashing right now.
They're like, beat your child.
No,
I'm not gonna beat my child.
Culturally, in the black household, that is how you discipline your kid. I don't know if you knew that.
I did know that.
Okay, so that is, and so
I know. So it's been normalized.
So knowing that, exactly. It's been It's not right, but it's been normalized, and it's kind of a like haha thing in black culture now. Yeah. Like, and we all kind of talk about
like getting the switch off a tree. And that's something that's been talked about for a very long time.
Exactly.
In black culture.
And so now we're kind of, in 2025, now we're kind of like, well, we know where our trauma came from. Like
generational trauma. What's that?
Our parents beat the shit out of us,
because their parents beat the shit out of them. Because their parents beat the shit out of them.
And it was their way of like, kind of like, it was their way of like protecting us from doing anything that would get us killed by people that weren't black. You know what I mean? So the fact that this was such a, and they even talk about it in the movie, like that whole scene.
Yeah, it's them arguing with the dad. The dad is like, "I'm not going to beat my child," and they're like, "You should beat your child. Like, we beat you, and you turned out all right."
And I was very confused. And listen, I was very confused why they spent so much time on that.
Yeah,
and
a long time.
I know
it is 15 minutes of the movie.
I know why it was brought up. It's like, okay, this is like a trope within black culture. Like, this is a thing. Like, and it is like a taboo. It's a taboo topic, but it's like a controversial conversation now. But they spent so much time on it, and I didn't know why at first. by the end of the movie, I understood why they brought it up.
Yeah.
It was in spoiler alert, the whole movie was really about like parenting styles for the most part,
which is a theme not brought up at all throughout the film until the very end.
It was the beating, like the disciplining your kid part was brought up in that 20-minute thing.
Yeah.
Was that we don't know, like, why are we still talking about like beating your kid and like the child abuse thing?
Yeah.
And that was their way of kind of foreshadowing, like, oh no, this movie's actually about just disciplining your kid and finding like that balance between beating the brakes off your kid and like your kid just like walking all over you.
Yeah,
you know.
And again, but that just like it just wasn't established well.
No,
or at all.
No,
like one of the themes again, like spoilers for the film. Like the daughter is like, you let mom walk all over you. She had an affair in this house
right,
with
like,
and you let me walk all over you. We're doing a lot of victim blaming here.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, none of this was established.
It wasn't.
This is the climax of the film.
It was hinted, but it wasn't.
Not even that.
But no, I'm saying like the conversation that like that 20-minute conversation was kind of like the foreshadowing of like what's the issue here for the dad, which is he can't control his kid.
Yeah.
Or
he's weak.
Right? And he doesn't have a backbone. He doesn't know how to discipline his kid.
But the thing is, he's very affirmative with her. He's like, no, you can't do this, and I'm telling you can't do this without any threat.
Well,
that's the thing. That was the thing. It's like you have to have threats to back it
up. Well, again, like just as context, that
now
what he was doing wasn't working.
Right, it wasn't working.
And
but again, we didn't know their relationship very well. We didn't see anything else besides like she's introduced like, I want to go to the party. You can't go to the party. Yeah. I hate you, and that's it. Like we don't know anything else about her.
You want to know what I saw that you probably didn't see?
Oh yeah, please.
Which was, and again, this literally just might be like a cultural thing.
Yeah.
But from the beginning of the movie, the daughter like questioning the dad is not something that happens. It like you can't do that.
Oh really?
Like dude, what you think I questioned my mom or my dad when they told me yes or like they told me I couldn't do something?
Well, my relationship with my dad was like he was just kind of there. He didn't. He was like, okay, do whatever. With my mom, she was the authority figure. She was the breadwinner. She was everything.
Yeah.
And it was like, Mom, like she's like, you can't do this. I'm like, why? And she's like, because I said so.
No,
that was the back and forth.
Yeah, no, that can't in most black households, just culturally, that the why will get your ass kicked.
Wow.
Like will get your ass beat. Yeah, you don't question the authority of your parent. And so I say that because knowing that a bunch of Southern black, like baby boomer black women, like traditionally raised Southern baby boomer black women are going to see this movie, they're going to pick up on that immediately. The daughter not just doing what the dad says. That's going to be a oh hell no moment in the movie theater.
I guess that shows my white privilege.
No, but it might not even just be a privilege thing. It literally just might be because again, I think I said it before. It's a for black parents, that's a way of protecting your kid.
Interesting.
You know what I mean? So it's like, listen, I'm not gonna let you get killed out here for not obeying authority. Like you're going to listen to me. And that way, to stay in line.
Yeah, that would just, completely over my head.
So
it's just something I just didn't grow up with.
Yeah.
For me, it was like, don't make me get your father.
Oh
like,
yeah. No.
Oh, okay.
No. This was very much like so like when they were having that conversation, or even then, when the daughter was like, "Dad," like I'm already like, "Oh fuck," Like I mean, listen, dude. When I was growing up, like I grew up hanging out with a bunch of my white friends that would absolutely question their parents.
Oh yeah,
and I was
totally normal in my family.
But my parents would see that and say you can't hang out with them anymore.
Really?
Yeah, they'd be like, no, we're not doing that.
We're not going to let you teach.
We're not. Yeah, you're not gonna. You're not. The famous phrase is, you're not. I'm not one of your. I'm not. You're not one of your little white friends. Like I'm not one of your little white friends' moms. That's like the phrase.
Wow.
Because it's very. And again, because the stakes are higher.
Yeah, absolutely.
The stakes are higher, so it's like
Yeah,
like,
if a cop pulls you over and you say why.
Oh.
It's
Bye.
completely different
Bye.
if I say that.
Yeah, exactly. So
Man.
and I know you understand it, but
I never thought about that.
yeah, but I know you know this, but in the context of like the movie, which there's so many things going on, that moment of like the daughter just even questioning the authority of her dad, even a little bit, is a huge plot point immediately.
Oh, shit.
So then take that beginning scene where she's like, Dad, why
That's
can't
why it's
I
not
go?
my demographic.
Right. It's exactly.
Just completely
It's not really mine too, but as a child of a black parent,
Right,
I'm already like,
you're able to identify it and go like,
if
oh,
I'm
yeah,
the friend, I'm like, girl, like, no, like, shut your ass up, like, like that's if I'm a friend, that's what I'm doing, you know what I mean? So then when they go into the big like, okay, 20 minutes of talking of them saying like, no, you need to beat your kid's ass, like that's kind of the norm in a lot of like black households, because it's like, listen, if you don't have a backbone, like your kid's gonna be out here doing whatever the fuck, and their consequences are gonna be way deeper than them hanging out with their little white friends, which is not ironic that. And listen, this puts
a whole different spin on it.
Well, yeah, because she had two white friends, and but Liza Koshy, who's half black, but Liza Koshy, like she's the
church girl.
She's the black friend that's like, listen, I had to come clean, and like we need to address this thing.
Also, let's kind of be real, like she's like kind of like. She can pass as something else.
Yeah. She definitely can. And I think she has a bunch of times, but yeah, she definitely have black. But either way, but that kind of set the tone for what this movie was about to me immediately, which was like the parenting thing.
Yeah,
as soon as the daughter said, Dad, I'm like, oh, and then they had that whole like beat your kid, like
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, no, this movie's, and that's when I wrote it down. I'm like, oh, this movie's about parent, like,
holy shit,
being like an authoritative parent, not an authoritarian, but authoritative parent, and having like that balance between like respect and discipline, and without, by the end of the movie, they found the balance of like, tell your kid what it is without putting your hands on them, like instill the fear of God into your kid without hurting them, which I still don't think that's a good parenting, but that's a whole different conversation.
I mean, basically the way they get her to listen is by like threatening to take everything from her and throwing her out on the street.
Yeah.
Which my parents would do. They'd be like, okay, you're going to lose your privileges. Right. You're going to like, we're going to take this away from you. You're going to take this away from you. You're going to take this away from you. And then we're going to lock you in your room.
It's a way of teaching your kid consequences.
Yeah, which I believe, I mean, we're not going to get into parenting, but yes, all kids need to know consequences.
Yeah.
But they need to know that their actions have them. And
And in this, and again, by the end of this movie, it shows like what happens when it's like an exaggerated version of it.
Can we talk about the end of the movie?
Wait, hold on. We got to get there. So so we established like the plot.
Yeah, beach kid. She goes to the party. And she goes there with her friend Liza, and Madea finds out immediately that they snuck out.
Yeah,
they're dressed, kind of skimpy.
Yeah.
And they're partying, whatever. And then probably the funniest scene. This is in the movie. One of the actual funny scenes in the movie happens where the frat boys get both the girls alone.
Oh yeah.
And they're sitting down and talking with them. And then she's like, "Oh, I'm 17," and
they freak out.
And they freak out. They have like a full blown like freak out. They run out the door like they're like.
And we both looked at each other and be like, oh, thank God.
Thank God.
Thank God there's a soul to this movie.
Yeah, thank God they had like an appropriate reaction to like almost betting a 17-year-old because that's a crime.
Yeah, but again, like, and I said it to you, like, it's not the first time that's been a thing in a show, like, or a movie, you know what I mean? Like the 17-year-old wanting to go to the 21 and up party.
Being an adult and whatever. And they like promptly kick them out.
Yep. They were like, no, we're not doing this.
Nope, you're 17. Get out of here. We didn't know you weren't 17. Like they are cool with like 18-year-olds being there though, because they can have sex with them, but they can drink or illegally or whatever.
Sure, yeah.
But at least there's some moral compass.
Yeah.
And they kick them out, and then Madea is pissed off or whatever after the twerking scene.
Oh, and then wait. Oh yeah, and so then
Tyga shows up.
Tyga shows up. Does Rack City for about 30 seconds.
But then there's a 5-minute twerking scene to Rap City.
Yep, and then the twerking influencer, I forget her name, but the twerking influencer twerks to Rap City for a good like 5 minutes. Yeah, and then
the other, like one of the horny grandma gets involved in it. She's like, I'll show you how to do it.
Yeah, and then there's like this whole fallout of of them finding out they're 17, and then
hold on. We skipped the most offensive scene.
Which one?
The one where they think Madea is in costume. And then she proves she's not in costume. Oh my fucking
gosh, dude! Yes.
Okay. We have to talk about
We'll
this.
get back to that because I have that written as the worst part. We'll get that. Once we get through the story, we'll come back to.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. There's a weird part of the movie we're gonna get back to. Yeah. We're gonna get back to that because that is. Yeah.
There's a lot of like deeply. It
was a problematic scene that I did not. It was
like not even funny. I'll just say for the time.
I'll just say cringe. It was
really cringy.
Very cringe.
Really
but
cringy.
And then then
but also just gross too.
It was pretty nasty. But again, we're not the demographic.
Demographic. I guess 60-year-olds are into that.
I think they would think that's funny.
Anyway, so there's a fallout. The daughter goes back to the house.
Yeah.
Medea is mad that she gets kicked out. But she doesn't know that she left the house. So they call the cops on the house and say there's a 17-year-old here.
Yeah.
And then the cops come in, they break up the party, and the frat boys are like, "Oh, I can't believe it! Oh, they broke up a party."
They're all mad.
And again, I don't think that's how like cops can't come in and like.
Yeah, either way,
that's not how the law works. But whatever.
They get mad,
and they're like, "Let's have revenge."
They get revenge, and then
they told her they're at this house right now or whatever. Yeah. And Liza is hiding for some reason.
Yeah,
it's not really established why she's hiding.
Yeah.
But she overhears that. And then
overhere's the revenge part,
and then
the spooky stuff starts to happen.
But they did some foreshadowing in the film, which is actually good writing when you do foreshadowing.
When
the spooky stuff starts happening in the house, because they say in the beginning of the film, like, I hired, like, this is my new fraternity find. He hacked into betas, whatever, which is illegal, but super cool.
Yeah.
And he's like an expert hacker. And then the other one's like, oh, this dude's like won makeup and into theatrical. Like, a little bit of foreshadowing. It's like, oh, that's good storytelling.
Yeah.
Like, good for you.
Yeah.
Like, good on you.
Yeah.
You did something right.
They did, and then they used that later later in the movie where
to justify
like all the spooky element. Oh, by the way, we didn't mention this, but one of the ways that the daughter was trying to sneak out behind the backs of like Madea and all of the friends that were watching was she was gonna scare. She kind of told like a Halloween a Halloween story
about the house that it was haunted.
About the house that was haunted, and the only way to like get the ghost to leave was if you like go to sleep or leave or something like that. And then it was
ridiculous.
It was super ridiculous.
And then it was over, and we were like, okay.
Yeah, and then we're like, well, okay, I guess this is a Halloween movie. And then it came back around. Fast forward to where we were just
almost
talking.
40 minutes later.
Yeah, fast forward to where we were talking about now. Is like, okay, so now they're trying to get revenge, and so they actually start to like prank them by like a clown like sneaks into the house.
Yeah, which is a crime.
Yeah, and then there's lots of crimes.
There's lots of crime.
Like they mess with like they get like the writing. The fog of the mirror.
Which I don't care how good of a hacker you are. You can't.
How does that even happen?
Like unless you can't write on a steamy mirror if you're a good hacker.
They never explained that. Did they?
Of course, why would they? There's no plot.
Yeah. It's like, how did they do that?
And then there was they turned the TV on.
The TV would go on
times.
And off, and then
they would make the lights turn on and off.
Yeah,
and then eventually like they would show up as a clown, which Madea would promptly do what Madea does and punch them in the face. Which seemed like a really good solution. It was working really well.
Yeah, and then they got frightened, and then they left, and then they drove into the woods, and then I guess the
car broke down.
And then the entire frat like chased them and tried to basically
dressed as zombies.
Yeah, so they did this whole thing where they just got revenge on them and trying to make
it was a prank, bro.
Trying to scare them,
and then they ran into a church.
Yep, they went into a church,
and then they found Liza.
That's
there.
where Liza was basically,
and that's where we see the two actors who in the movie. Who
yeah,
like,
the two actors. Well, we've seen them before. We don't know where, but we've seen them
we're
before.
like, oh, they're actually like saying lines and like they're acting. They're doing a good job. Like,
they were actually
everything.
doing
I believe in what they're saying.
Yeah,
and then Liza is like, I overheard that the boys were trying to prank you. Oh, for some reason, the girl called Liza, the daughter called Liza, was like, I don't know what to do. You need to help me. And then, do you remember that? We were like, what is she talking about?
I have no idea.
But she was like trying to find. She was still trying to get them to go to bed.
Yeah, that was weird. Like,
but it was like you already got kicked out of the party. Why are you trying to scare them again?
I don't know. Maybe they like threatened her or something like that, or I don't know. I don't know. What happened. It wasn't clear. A lot of stuff wasn't clear. But anyway, it obviously wasn't that important. It wasn't that important.
We're just trying to get to the next sit piece where Madea can start ranting for 20 minutes at nothing.
Did she rant again?
Yeah, she ranted at the church.
Oh my God! Yeah,
she ranted at the car. Yeah. She ranted in the car.
Yeah,
she ranted when the priest called her.
Anytime Madea was on screen, it was the opportunity to be like, do that thing.
Anywhere between like a 5 to 10 minute rant where Madea that doesn't progress the plot.
Medea, do that thing. Do that thing.
Do the thing cool. I like that you. Yeah. That we like.
So then
dance monkey dance.
So then, just to wrap up the story, I'll just like speed run this real quick.
Yeah.
But basically, Madea and all of her friends got revenge on all of the frat guys.
Yeah.
And the daughter
through a prison bus,
basically like quote unquote like arresting all of them for all of this stuff.
Like for Liza being fake dead, like having her throat
like Liza
slit in the
pretended to
basement.
be dead. Liza pretended to be dead in the frat house, and so like the cops basically came and arrested everyone, threw them in like a prison bus, and like
for murder.
And then
the daughter who had already had like her catharsis scene and like apologized,
but it wasn't enough apparently.
Apparently, they still had to. She was with them the whole time, so I don't know how he was able to like.
Yeah, I guess Madea like set it up
somehow
behind the scenes.
She can barely turn her car on, and somehow she organized this massive prank with multiple people from the neighborhood, fake cops, fake prison bus.
Listen. This isn't the first Madea movie, so there might be context that we don't even know about.
That's true. Maybe these characters are already established in Madea Part 1.
I think that's the case actually.
Episode 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah. And so,
that's what they should have called Madea Part Boo Madea Extra Boogaloo.
That's crazy. And then so long story short, then there's like a riot on this prison, but a fake riot on this prison bus
where they say they're going to like sexually assault.
They said the R word.
They're like we're gonna sexually. He's gonna get sexually assaulted for real.
Right.
And we laugh about it.
Things that happen in jail, and then then they learn their lesson. Then they basically say, this was a prank to get you guys back for getting us back.
And for some reason, a wholesome movie score comes in.
And then we learned our lesson. Yeah.
And the movie ends.
And then it's so the story. So overall, the story was all over the place. As expected, Jacob didn't know that Madea movies are all over the place. So he was like, what is going on every 5 minutes? I'm like, dude, this is just what it is. Like,
I mean, there was no...
It was all over the place. There wasn't, but again, like your expectation.
It was
I don't
just
know.
Kind of like trying to find a way to get Madea to the next set piece.
Exactly. But then there's always, and I said this to you also, in Madea movies, in all Tyler Perry movies, there's always a religious element to it.
And I'm not a religious person, by the way.
And again, that just caters to the demographic.
Yeah.
And that,
not me.
And a lot of that has to do, and a lot of that steers like the moral of the story and the plot, right?
Right.
So,
although Madea comes across as not very religious either.
No, Madea
is really like.
Well, that's like her. That's like the entertainment of her characters, right? Like she has like this dual, like two sides to her, where she's like this. She's like a felon. Like there's like a Madea goes to jail.
Yeah,
like she's like this very messy character,
yeah, she's
but
also
like she loves God. But so it's like that is funny in itself. Like she has like this duality to her, where she's like she loves God, but she's killed people.
Maybe I need to watch the first 10 movies before.
Listen, it's the context does matter, so it's like you.
Context. Please don't make me watch 10 more movies.
Yeah, we're gonna watch a lot more. But then I wrote down, and I will say like the last third of the movie, I actually thought was, as soon as the score came in, I think the movie wrapped itself up It had to, but
Yeah.
it took everything and wrapped everything up in a very it landed the plane in a rocky way, but it did land.
It landed the plane upside down.
No, it landed. I think it landed the plane because I understood why everything that happened in the movie that I was like, what is going on?
Yeah.
I understood it by the end of the movie. That whole scene where they. Again, it was just like it was just the parents. It was just the whole movie was about disciplining your kid in a way that wasn't beating the shit out of them, but also not letting them walk all over you. Which I appreciated that there was actually a moral to the story.
That's a good lesson.
Yeah, and I thought that they did it. And listen, at the end of the movie, I thought they did it in the most wild way possible. But they did. But they did it. They did it. They didn't. I wasn't sitting there like, what was that about? I knew what it was about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I will say that in terms of having a moral to the story and communicating that, they did it. They achieved that. You know.
Okay.
You have a different take.
Like I said, they landed for me, it felt like.
If a plane lands upside down, it's crashing.
Well, it still lands.
And people are dead, though.
It still lands.
People are dead, though.
No. It can skid across the runway. It'll be fine. The feet will be stuck up there.
Fair enough.
But that was the thing. It just was I guess for me, because I didn't get the moral of the movie about this is about how to raise your kids.
Oh,
it just,
right.
It felt like it was introduced in the last act.
Yeah. Well, that's why I was saying.
And that's why I was like, I guess this is what the movie's about, and they needed to find a way to tie it up because, again, this wasn't referenced at all for me.
Got it. Right. Yes.
That's why it felt like.
That's why
I guess
felt like it was out of nowhere.
And again, they're punishing the daughter even after she apologized and learned her lesson.
Yeah, that's another.
It was fucking weird.
That's another black household thing.
It's you still haven't suffered enough.
Yes. That's a thing.
So we really, I was like, oh my God, they're doing a Scared Straight program on a bus.
Yeah, no, that's a thing. That's definitely a thing. I think also for entertainment value, they were I
guess they needed a big bombastic ending.
Yeah, exactly. Because look at the movie. Look at the rest of the movie.
The movie's crazy.
You're gonna start the movie like this and not do something crazy at the end. It's
I'm saying
the movie's over after she apologizes. No.
The thing is, we're talking this movie is a high octane, crazy, wacky adventure. Nothing happens in this movie.
Nothing happens. It's just it's all ridiculousness.
Right.
It's a whole clown show.
Yeah.
Intentionally.
It is a clown show.
And
they had the same clown outfit.
I was gonna say, and pun intended.
Yeah.
But it is just like most Madea movies, is a whole clown show. So
yeah.
But yeah, the story, again, there was remnants of a story.
It was almost a story.
But again, 80% of the movie is about Madea and her doing the Madea thing with the rest.
$1 billion couldn't afford any black comedy writers.
Listen, for what? What? He's the comedy writer. It works. He's the richest. He's the richest comedy writer in Black Hollywood.
Yeah.
He's the richest. It works.
See, that's one of the problems that I have in that it is. For one thing, it makes it sound like it's a monopoly, number one. But I hate the idea of black and white Hollywood. I hate the idea of black
That's
and
not
Asian.
our fault.
It's not our fault.
That's not Black Hollywood's fault.
It's not.
But I know what you mean.
It's like you're trying to make make it in a business that is overwhelmingly white.
Yeah,
and
it's not gonna happen.
It's kind of almost apartheid almost, where it's just we're in the same business, but we're not really in the same business.
Yeah.
You still do your stuff over there, and maybe sometimes we'll have a black lead be in one of our movies.
Yeah,
maybe we'll have Denzel. Maybe we'll have a safe black guy in one of our films. And
I agree,
and I hate that because
I agree, but I don't think that Tyler Perry is a regressed version of that. I think
I'm not saying that.
I think Tyler Perry is actually a solution to what you're talking about.
I don't know if I would call him a solution. Again, this is something that's probably way bigger than me that I don't have a full understanding about.
Sure.
But I do believe that he is kind of making the best of a situation.
Right, exactly.
And he's profiting off of it. And
there's a reason why he doesn't. It's a good best of the situation.
Yeah, there's a reason he doesn't hire white leads.
Yeah.
And again, because the demographic is very
He
skewed.
actually has a couple in some movies. Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Okay.
I gotta remember which
Scratch that.
ones
that's me coming off as ignorant and just ignoring
No. It's few and far between. It's
right,
not,
but again, like the overwhelming leads in white Hollywood are white.
Yeah.
With very few black leads.
Yeah.
And so why would he in black Hollywood, hire white leads or people because it's like, look, I gotta get people representation who are not getting it.
Well, I was gonna say they're already getting jobs. They don't have a problem getting jobs. That's Tyler.
As long as people are getting work, and as long as the right people are getting work. And when I say the right people, I mean people who actually give a damn and invest time into their art. That's what I mean.
Yeah, that's subjective too, though.
Yeah,
that's subjective too, because I think
there's a lot of crap
just like I will say, like, just like you think it's important to, and I'm just playing devil's advocate here for Tyler Perry, but just like you think it's
protect the billionaire,
but listen, it's black billionaires. It's a little bit of a different story to me, but just like you think it's important to for like people that respect the art and the craft of acting to be the ones to get opportunities. Tyler Perry sees the people that are not represented in Hollywood, regardless of their craft ability or
level of training or whatever.
Regardless of that, the people that are not represented in Hollywood are the ones that need the opportunities.
That's fair.
So that's kind of, and you see that listen, that's why when you watch a Tyler Perry movie, you don't really expect like this very like, classically trained, highbrow. Like, no, he's created his own style based, and I will say accurately based on what he experienced growing up. It
appeals to a certain demographic.
Well, and again, like, even though, and I will say this, even though these characters seem very outlandish and over the top, they are real. Like, these do represent like real people.
Oh, don't get me wrong. Like, you and I both know people.
Just like this, just like all these characters.
That's the thing. Whenever I see stereotypes in films, I'm like,
that person exists.
That person does exist.
Yeah.
Whether it's every person fits that stereotype, not true. And it's unfair to do that.
Yeah.
But there are people exactly like that in the world. Yeah. I know a lot of really flamboyantly gay, over the top.
Yeah.
And I know people who are not like that at all.
Right.
They exist.
Yeah.
But again, we shouldn't be like, this is the only portrayal of them. It's about equal.
Well, that's
not saying they're less than anything because of how they're portrayed.
That's the flack that Tyler Perry has gotten his entire career. He's the guy who perpetuates, like, quote unquote. This is where I disagree with most people, but negative black stereotypes.
Really,
right? And people say negative, like when people are, like these characters, like loud, quote unquote, over the top, quote unquote, like eclectic. They associate that with like a negative personality trait, which I think is bullshit. That's just a different personality trait that, again, Tyler Perry, he grew up being around. So this is what he's seen. This is what he puts in his things. Now, the frustration that, again, a lot of people have is like
I think it's because it is the biggest portrayal of it, maybe, and it might be the only portrayal.
Exactly.
So we need to see.
So people are like
all ends of the spectrum.
So people are like, wait, you need to also represent like You also need to show doctors, and you also need to do this, and you also need to do this. And listen, I agree with them too. I think he needs to show all.
That's a lot to do in one movie.
It's a lot to do in. You're giving Tyler Perry the responsibility to represent all black people.
Yeah,
all of them.
Yeah, that is a huge burden to put on someone.
It's much more realistic that he sticks with what he knows.
Yeah,
he is not the spokesperson for how black people are represented in Hollywood.
Well,
he's the spokesperson for what how he understands how the people in his life show up.
Yeah. And so what he has is he does have so much power and so much ability. Since he can't do it all, what he can do is, again, I'm not an expert on all this, but he can empower other creators to show that other aspect. Instead of, so he's not the sole voice. He's like, okay, I can't do it all on my own.
Yeah.
But I want you to do this.
And
that's important for like people in positions of power to empower other people.
I'm curious to know, and maybe we'll look this up later, but I'm curious to know like who he's endorsed or produced or funded.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You know, like it would be like if he was somebody who's like
he's got a million different
who was like
companies.
here, yeah, exactly. If he was somebody who's like here, Shonda Rhimes, you don't need to be under ABC anymore.
Yeah,
I will fund you.
Yeah,
that would be doing exactly what you're saying. You know,
and I'm sure he does that.
And listen, I don't. But again, wait.
Tyler Perry produces. You know, we hear that all the time.
But then the other side of it is like, okay, well, is he also? You know, is he? And I'll get to the point after this, but yeah, is he also? I forgot what I was gonna say because I had two. I had 2 points, but I guess I'll just go to the second point. He does make movies that are not like Madea movies. He also has movies that does show another side of.
He does erotic thrillers. He does a lot of erotic thrillers.
Yeah, well, he does a lot of erotic thrillers. He does a lot of dramas. He does, you know, I think actually those are like his two. It's like the ridiculous Madea movies, and then he also has like his dramas.
But that's his biggest market. Is Madea? It's like, look. Like we said before, you're a businessman. What are you going to do that makes the most money?
Exactly.
He's going to go with Madea. He's going to go with the easiest, the cheapest, and the most profit.
As of late, he has been leaning a lot more into the dramas, into the erotic dramas, like into and listen.
Well, that's what they're saying lately with like in terms of like production in Hollywood, in all Hollywood in general, is dramas are the most produced shows right now. Comedies are going. Because you know, comedy is not timeless, unfortunately.
Not
and so, like we said, we watched some jokes in 2016 where we were like,
they didn't land right. Yeah, like you can't make that joke anymore.
You can't do that. And so, a lot of studios are afraid of that.
Yeah,
and so it's safer to produce because drama is it's going to be drama.
Yeah. So
timeless themes.
So, but I wrote it down. But yeah, Tyler Perry, he does lately. He has been leaning more into the dramas. Also, listen, and we're gonna watch those. They feel very different from what we just watched. They're better, but you're in for a surprise because they are also over the top in their own way.
Are they kind of like 50 Shades of Grey, but like
no, it's not as erotic like that. It's more so the you're gonna love the thing that
wicked smile.
The thing that's over the top is not the acting.
Wow.
It's and the plots are pretty good.
Yeah. Okay.
But the plots are also it takes you on a fucking roller coaster.
Okay.
Everything plot
would not see that coming.
The story is over the top. Like where the circumstances are over the top.
Okay.
And we're definitely gonna watch a few. I won't say all of his movies are
the
like
next movie.
Yeah, no, please. But I'm not gonna say all of them are like that. But because he does have some movies that are just like straight up good. Yeah. It's like a handful, but he has some movies that are just like really good. He has the one with Idris. He has one with Idris Elba.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, it's I think it's
that man is.
He's great.
One of the best actors.
Yeah,
I think.
Great. But he has a movie.
Time.
He has a movie. I think it's called For Colored Girls. I think I've
heard of that film.
It's great.
Can I tell you a funny story about Idris Elba?
Please.
So this didn't happen to me. This happened to my aunt.
Okay.
My aunt was, I think, one of the lead executive producers of USA TV.
Okay. Sure.
She had a pretty high up position in USA. Oops, sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
And so she got invited to, I believe it was either the Golden Globes or, which one is the one for TV? It's the Emmys, right?
Emmys, yeah.
Emmys, so it was the Emmys. And she comes to the table, to say hi to everyone. And, there's a couple celebrities there. She knew a few celebrities.
Sure.
And one of them is Idris Elba. And he is drunk. He is like, a few drinks in.
I believe it.
And my aunt was just like, swooning.
Of course.
He's gorgeous, man.
Dangerous, yeah.
And she was just like, I love you. I just want you to know, like, I love you. No. And he goes, you know what? He stands up and he goes, I love you too. And like grabs her and kisses her full on the mouth.
Fucking way, dude.
And she said that was the best kiss she ever had in her life.
That's so crazy, bro.
Idris Elba, man. You fox, you.
Is that sexual assault?
No,
because she said I love you.
Yeah, I don't want to answer that.
You know what?
I love you too.
That's
I love
that's an
you
awesome
too.
story.
Right? He's not a fox. He's an echidna.
You said what?
He's not a fox. He's an echidna. He plays Knuckles.
He plays
in Sonic
Knuckles.
the
He
Hedgehog.
plays Knuckles. Yeah.
So that was my Idris Elba story.
Wow.
A third party. Again, I probably might be misquoting it. Maybe she dolls up the story. I don't know.
No. Listen. Regardless, I mean,
But I think that's an amazing.
If the kiss happened, then that's
If
a good
Idris
enough
Elba
story.
kissed me as a straight man,
Oh yeah.
I would be
yeah.
like,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. I can die happy now.
Thank you. I can tell everyone that these lips have
kiss-
touched one of the most talented, sexiest men in the world.
Listen, man, that guy. But
Anyway.
anyway, yes. Tyler
Colored
Perry has a
Girls.
lot of good.
Yeah.
Tyler Perry has got a lot of good movies, including one starring Idris Elba, which I would argue is his best movie.
Okay.
But that brings me. So that brings me to the next section of
All right, here we are.
this review.
Where are we at? Check our
We are
phones.
at.
Okay.
We are at best moments.
Best moments.
Best moments.
Do you want to start with your best moment or
Of
my
course,
best?
I will
Yeah.
definitely start with my best moment. I will say I actually liked the moment where they're in the room and they're basically
Yeah.
and the daughter's apologizing.
Right. It was a good moment.
I liked that moment because
It was real.
it was real.
It was the one real moment in the entire film.
It wrapped up a lot of mess. It cleaned up a lot
It
of
introduced a lot of stuff that we didn't know about.
but it did it. At least it did it.
Yeah.
And again, we just have to. I don't know if we said this already. Maybe we did.
Yeah.
This is a Madea movie. The
Yeah.
bar is low.
Yeah,
So we're not like,
it's
oh my god, it was
sub-level.
the best moment in cinema. No.
No.
For what it was, for everything else that was going on.
Yeah.
That moment was good.
Yeah.
For the movie.
And I'll give you that. I think it was. I mean, it was a nice, because we've talked about this.
Yeah.
Where you have to have a grounded character.
That was a very grounded
And you
moment.
have to have grounded moments, or else the ridiculousness just doesn't have anything to play off.
And it
of.
gave us background, even though it was very quick and it was like,
Yeah.
whoa, all this information.
We didn't know
it
this.
gave us context. It gave us background
Yeah.
of why, of everybody's motivation, of what the goal of everything was
Yeah.
was going to
It
be.
was a good moment.
You know, it was basically everybody came into the room, and they basically told the girl that she needed to respect her dad. And she,
And look, man, I've had a moment like that where my mom came in and was like, "I'm taking this back.
yeah,
This is mine."
yeah.
And I was like, "Okay, I can relate to that."
It felt
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
very relatable moment.
Yes.
It felt very real, and it felt like everybody.
You fucked up.
Yeah, yeah.
And there are
it-
going to be
it-
consequences.
It was your parent disciplining you.
I mean, they were still trying to be like, "We still think you should hit her, though."
Yeah, which was again they had to keep the funny in there.
Yeah.
but you know it was
It undercut.
it was a balanced. It was a yeah exactly. It was a balanced It was a balanced I think solution or a
Yes.
resolution to the movie.
A little note to any parents out there: you can get a child to respect you without violently attacking them. I don't know how, but it is possible.
It is possible. And to any black parents out there, don't mind him. No, I'm just kidding. Don't mind what Jacob's saying. Any black parents out there, it is possible. But I also understand. I also get it.
I mean, my mom spanked me.
Yeah,
was
no, we're
like-
talking about two different things.
No,
brother.
we're talking about two different. My
You're
dad.
talking about. You said spanking is bare minimum, dog.
No. My dad grew up in this is going to be a little overshare, but my dad grew up in a pretty abusive household.
Sure.
His mom was an alcoholic.
Oh yeah.
She went after him with a kitchen knife one time when he was a kid.
Yeah.
Like his dad once broke his arm.
Yeah.
My dad was born in 1942. He's an old man.
It's no,
and
listen.
so like that was the time. Like,
Yeah.
like beat your kid.
Yeah, and that was the
And-
time where all these characters were from.
Yeah, and
You
so
know?
one time my dad was trying to put my sister in her car seat. Mm-hmm. Toddler.
Sure.
Throwing a fit, having a tantrum. And
Yeah.
she like reeled back and like
Oh,
right in the face, busted his nose.
he snapped.
Broke his glasses.
Yeah.
And he just, without
Fucking
thinking,
lost it.
reeled back,
Yeah.
hit her.
Yeah.
And I wasn't born during that time.
Yeah.
But the way my mom talks about it is like he cried for about a week straight because
Wow.
he was just like, I don't deserve to be a father. Like he cried to my mom. He was just so
Guilt.
horrified
Guilt hit
by
him.
what he did.
Yeah.
And it's like, He never hit us.
Yeah.
Ever again.
Yeah, that guilt.
That guilt of like becoming like his parents, because he left home at 16 and didn't talk to his parents for like 4 years.
Sure.
Because he was like, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
And so like whenever I hear about child abuse, it's like, it's something I haven't personally experienced, but I've seen kind of the aftermath of it and seen how it shapes someone so deeply by like when you don't feel safe with the people you need to feel the most safe with.
Man, the child abuse conversation in the black household is again always a taboo conversation because
like you said, it's normalized.
I understand it, but I also don't agree with even needing to put your hands on your kid to get a point across. Right. I don't, and again, I'm fucking millennial, so of course,
we're a millennial without kids.
Yeah, without kids. So
you put me in a room with a child for 20 minutes, I'm gonna be like,
But again, like I think the thing that I do understand is that in terms of disciplining your kid in a black household, the stakes are just higher. The stakes are like if they don't I guess respect authority or follow rules, then the consequences could be much more dire down the line.
Yes.
But on the flip side of that is if you abuse is a learned behavior.
Yes.
So if you put your hand on your kid, chances are they're going to put their hands on somebody else.
Yeah.
And you don't want that. So I know that. Listen,
it's hard to break the cycle of violence.
I do know the solution, which is just don't put your hand on your kid.
Yeah,
and
because you're an adult, they're a child.
Yeah,
they don't know.
Exactly, and learn how to self-regulate.
That's something that everybody needs to learn how to get into. When we get into a therapy podcast, we'll get more into that. But right now we're talking about Madea.
No, thank you. Let's bring it back.
But yeah, that was my favorite moment in the film. For me, was the one time I had a good laugh was when there was a knock on the door, and there was like, "There's someone at the door. There's something scary at the door. There's a scary man at the door." And they're like, "Who is it?" "A white man."
Oh yeah, and that was a great moment.
Both laughed.
That was a great moment because that was like,
okay, that's a good joke.
Yeah.
If they didn't drag it out for 3 minutes before the punchline, it would have been a hilarious joke.
That was fun. That actually made me cackle because it was just like so. It was just like so honest.
Yeah,
it was like so real, and everybody like you don't. It's not a joke that you had to explain.
No,
it was the build up. Like who's at the door?
Four black,
Yep. Like baby
people
boomers.
with warrants.
Yeah. Yep, exactly.
White police officer knocks on the door.
Yeah. Even if it wasn't a police officer.
Yeah.
It could have just been a white dude
in the middle of the night. By the way,
and again with really no other white people in the movie. Like other than
Bella Thorne.
Other than like the supporting like barely saw like frat kids, but like just this random
who are all in their 30s and 40s.
Yeah, literally in their 30s and 40s. But that part was funny. There were a lot of missed jokes in this movie.
Yeah, it was like you were so close.
That one landed
right there to being funny.
That one landed.
That one landed very well.
Yeah.
Okay. That was my favorite movie. So now we're gonna get to
we're in worst moments.
The worst.
We're in the worst moments.
There was a lot to pick from.
You have to pick one. You have to pick. Okay, you can pick two.
I can pick two.
You can pick.
There was
two.
a lot of moments.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously the sexual assault joke at the end was really bad.
Yeah, they made a R joke, and
it was really tasteless.
There was a time, and again, this is just with comedy, like you said, it doesn't age well.
No.
There was a time when you could make that joke, and it was. Listen,
this was 2016. This was Trump was in office, and there was the Me Too movement was happening. So
but that
was the Me Too movement happening. Or was that 2018?
No, that was later.
It was later. You're right. I'm sorry.
But either way, like that joke could have landed, but we both were like, oof.
You and I both sucked the air out.
I was like, ooh.
We were like,
I was trying to have empathy.
It's like the
I was like,
final
2016, okay.
And it's like the final joke of the movie,
the last,
too.
And it was it didn't need to be there. It was a throwaway joke.
But the worst part of the movie. So Madea goes to the frat house.
Oh, this is my worst. I don't even need to. This is my worst too.
Yeah,
I don't even need to
we
repeat
both
it.
agreed on this.
Yeah,
We paused the movie.
Oh, yes.
And we're like, nope, we're writing this down.
Yeah,
There's no way.
This was bad. Man. This was bad.
Medea goes to the frat house to get her great niece, I think, or whatever.
Yeah.
And she stopped at the porch by three frat guys.
They're all drunk.
And they think she's in drag. They think she's in costume, which is a fair assessment.
I missed that part actually. They think she's in drag.
Yeah, and they're like, "Show us." He like immediately because he thinks she's in drag. He grabs one of her breasts, and she punches him. It's appropriate response.
Yeah.
And then she's like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Oh, I love boobs. We all love boobs. Can we see, like it's a great costume? Like, can we see him?" And she's like, "What?" And he goes, "I love boobs." And the other two guys join in. They're like, "I love boobs too. Can we see them? Let's show us your boobs." And she's like, "Oh, you want to see my boobs? All right, here we go."
And then she actually
calls them paradise, and she
actually opens her shirt and shows them her boobs, and they're just like looking at them, and it wasn't even like
they're commenting on.
It wasn't even like a flash, like here they are, and then covers back up.
Like
she's just holding it, and they're like, okay.
And they're like, wow, okay. They're really like wrinkly and kind of gross, and
they're like analyzing her breasts,
and then they realize that they're not fake.
Yeah,
and then they run away and vomit, and she's like, "You should be grateful. I used to charge $5 for that, or something like that."
Yeah, and the part that killed me was like, take the jokes away from it. It just hurt. It was uncomfortable. It was cringe.
Yeah.
And the layers to it for me were that Tyler Perry is not actually a woman.
Right.
And so you are doing something that a woman, even if she was acting, would probably not agree to do.
Yeah, and I know a couple of women who would be like, "Yeah, free the nip under certain circumstances."
But this was a very
This was
a very like sexual assault circumstance.
Yeah, he straight up grabs her, fondles her,
and that's
and
not
then
funny.
He's like, "Show them to me."
Yeah, that shit's not funny.
It's not. It was not funny. It was tasteless.
Yeah.
It was gross, and it was just in general harmful.
Yeah, that's how I felt, like harmful. Like you don't want to try to make a joke out of this.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Like this is not okay.
It's not
under any
appropriate.
circumstance.
It's just not.
And look, don't get me wrong. Like there's been situations where I've had a woman I know flash me, and I was like, awesome, cool, boobs, I love those.
Yeah.
But it was like there's a relationship.
Sure.
You know, like I don't think I've ever been flashed by someone I didn't know.
Yeah.
And it's just you and I paused the movie.
Yeah, because it was just
we were just like,
I didn't expect that, like, and it wasn't like
and the scene goes on for a couple of minutes.
It goes on for a while. They spend a lot of time on her just like holding the shirt open, and they're just like,
and then the guys like looking.
They're like
whoa.
no. And the part that made it worse was like they're drunkenly like looking and like
analyzing it.
And I get it, like it's supposed to be funny because Madea is like old and like, you know, like
there's a lot of ageism in this movie.
Yeah. And it's like, oh well, this would never happen with like an old lady, so we're gonna do it, and like it's gonna be like, oh my god, but it's just
it is kind of like
it was under the guy. It came right after she was sexually assaulted.
Yeah.
It came right after. That was the decision. Like, oh, you touched my boob. Boom.
And she punches him.
And she punches him, and then she opens her shirt and says
for him.
Yeah, which is weird.
It's like
it was weird.
It just it was gross.
And maybe that was a 2016 thing, but I don't know. It was just cringe. It felt weird. I didn't like that part.
Yeah, we didn't like that part. And then there was a few other things. Like there was just some. I didn't like being cool with child beating. There was a lot of things I didn't like.
Yeah.
Which of course we talked about. And again, there was something that we said that like we had to turn on the subtitles after about 20 minutes in because we couldn't understand anything anyone was saying. I caught every other word, but I looked at you. I was like, I can't understand a fucking word they're saying.
Admittedly, I understood what they were saying, but I actually can't watch anything without subtitles.
Oh.
So me turning on the subtitles was not exclusive to this movie.
Okay.
I need subtitles for everything.
Oh, really?
And
I hate subtitles in movies.
Really?
Yeah, because if I'm watching something, like my instinct is to look down and like read the words, and then I'll miss something, especially if it's something incredible is happening on the scene.
Got you.
Like if I'm watching a great anime or something, and you know it's in Japanese, and I have to watch it with English subtitles,
Sure.
and I'm looking down and I'm missing something that an artist spent 3 months animating.
Yeah.
and I'm like, I missed it because I'm doing, I'm looking up and down and up and down and up and down.
My hearing is I get distracted really easily, and I get really frustrated if I don't catch something somebody says. And so if somebody's talking really quickly, I get so mad because I'm like, fuck, what did they say? And then I'll rewind it. But if
you're an old man,
but if I don't know, literally now I'm an old man. And so now if I but if I exactly
what did you say? I have this joke with my mom because she always comes down whenever I live at home and I'm watching a movie. She'll come downstairs in the last 20 to 10 minutes of the movie, and she'll ask me to explain the entire movie to her. She's like, "Who's that? What's that? What did they say?" Well, I said, "What's that? Who's that?"
That's me with Chloe.
And it's 100%. just like the lead character is dying, and he's like saying his last goodbye to the love of his life, and I'm like, I can't.
That's me with Chloe. I definitely ruin her shows because of that. But it allows me to if I don't.
Chloe
If
is
I
his
don't,
wife. For those of you who don't know, they actually just got married a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. But if I don't hear it immediately, at least I can just quickly look down and be like, oh, that's what they said. Okay, anyway,
That's
I
fair.
can kind of ignore subtitles until I need them, and then I quickly glance. And I'm like, oh, that's what they said.
If I can watch without them, I will. Anyway, so we talked about the things we liked the most, the thing we hated most. What else did we have to talk about?
So we were at the last part.
Are we wrapping it up?
We're at. Okay. So we have to say what our overall rating of this movie is, given the context, Jacob. We are not comparing this to movies that we love.
Yeah, right.
This is this might be difficult because this is the first one. This is the baseline.
Yeah.
We're starting with the first movie.
We're still figuring out our format, by the way.
We're still figuring out our format.
So how are we rating this? Out of 10?
I would say, you know what?
Or do you want to do a rent it, skip it, watch it, pay for it?
No, everybody should watch these movies. Now, listen, if we could sit through these fucking movies, so can you guys.
Yeah. I thought that's why we're watching them, so they don't have to watch them.
No, fuck that. Now they get to now they're gonna want to watch it.
All right.
Let's do. We can either rate it on a 10-point scale.
Yeah.
Or we can give it a grade, A through F.
Ooh. I feel like a 10-point scale.
10-point scale. Okay, before we rate it on a 10-point scale, we have to. We'll sum up we have to give it a We have to be able to compare it to something.
Compare it to what?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. We have to kind of figure out how do we grade this without comparing it to our own bias and our own.
Well, then how do we rate it?
Okay,
then?
fine.
That's impossible.
You know what? Let's just.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna rate it in terms of acting.
Yes.
Plot, whether it was interesting or engaging. Did I say acting?
Yes, you said acting, plot.
The sound.
Yeah, just everything that we just went through.
The lighting, just everything that we went through.
Okay.
I had fun watching it with you.
Wait. In terms of just remember, in terms of movies that are not targeted for us,
right?
This is what I would rate this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, okay. In terms of movies that are not, there is a reason it is not targeted towards people like me, because people like me would probably not enjoy it.
Likewise.
And I enjoyed watching it with you because it was fun to poke fun at.
Yep.
But there were definitely moments where I was like, get me the fuck out of here.
Same.
And so, on a numerical grade scale, 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest, this movie has a 4.8, I believe, on IMDb.
On IMDb, yeah.
I would give it a 3.
Okay. I think that's fair.
Because again, sometimes it's fun to watch bad movies. Sometimes
it is,
and it's more fun to watch bad movies with friends.
But this one was insufferable.
This was awful. This was an awful film. It was a lazy film.
It was so bad.
It was. I'm being nice by giving it a 3.
But all the movies that we're gonna watch, we're gonna think they're bad. But this one. I agree. I agree, dude. Because some movies are so bad that they're entertaining.
Yeah, they know what they are.
And Tyler Perry has a few that are so bad that they're actually entertaining. You're laughing because it's oh, you're trying to do this, but you're doing this.
But this was not a movie.
This was all over the place, man. It was all.
This wasn't. I can't even. I don't know if I can call it a movie.
Yeah.
It was just Medea goes to this house. Medea is now in this room. Medea is here yelling at this person.
Yeah.
Child abuse is not great. That's the movie.
Yeah.
Here's an hour and 40 minutes of your life. Gone.
I am right with you on
Really?
this. Even though I've been talking, I've been trying to be neutral.
I know
I've been trying to be a devil's advocate.
Yeah.
I've been trying to be, and I think it's important to be able to do that
Yeah,
with these
absolutely.
movies, knowing that we would never go and pay for these movies or go see them in the movie theater. Like this is solely so that we can how others like us that
if you're interested in like seeing a movie that's outside of your comfort zone, we'll say like maybe keep it out of your comfort zone.
Exactly.
Maybe stick with your comfort zone.
I would say out of 10, I would give this one. Let me give my reference.
Yeah, break it down for me.
I will say the acting was bad.
Yeah.
The plot was awful.
What script?
There was no script. The worst moment wasn't like the worst moment in cinema history. It was just bad. Yeah. The best moment,
it wasn't like pee in a jar and just
the best moment kind of I apply back to the plot. I liked the plot. I liked the best moment. Like I feel like that.
Yeah, that plot point.
Yeah, the moral of the story. It's
a good moral.
I actually really like. You don't really hear it a lot about it. It was very specific. I really like the fact that the plot and like the overall moral of the story was very specific. So, given all of that, and I also listen. Even though I also liked seeing familiar faces, I know that I liked seeing Liza Koshy in there.
Yeah,
I liked seeing.
I wish she had more to do.
I liked seeing the same. I liked seeing Lavelle Crawford in there, and I liked seeing. Corey Holcomb in there.
Yeah.
Also, just really quick cameos, but I will give it a. Dude, I'm right there with you. I'm giving it a 3. Yeah, I'm giving it a 3.
And the only reason it gets a 3 is because I watched it with you. If I watched it on my own, I would have hated every second of it.
I feel like I had to balance you out a little bit.
Thank you. Yeah.
I feel like I had to. Again, I feel like I had to bring you back to where we actually were. Be like, Jacob, we are not. This is weird. Neither of us would watch this on our own. We're only watching this together. We're only watching this because we are here together.
We chose to do this to ourselves.
We are holding each other's hands, jumping off this fucking bridge.
There were definitely moments where I was smacking the couch, where I was like, "What the is happening?"
Trust me, I was like, an hour 40,
Oh man, you kept your cool.
I was like, this is
cool as a cucumber.
I was like, this is going on so long, and everything that you were saying, like throughout the movie, I was thinking, but I was like, dude, I can't. I have to stay grounded and I literally for this specifically, I was trying to just stay pretend like I was actually enjoying it so that I could talk about it as objectively as possible without my own bias creeping in.
God bless you.
Because I know that if I didn't do that, then we would just be
we'd be ragging.
We would just be, and that's not fun, dude. Yeah. That's not fun.
That's my job. I'll do the ragging.
No, that's fine. And I'm happy to balance things out.
That might be hard later on when we watch more movies.
No, I'm happy to balance things out. But yeah, I think you should pick the next movie, and I think we can take a break from Madea for a while.
Thank God.
I think we should revisit a Tyler Perry movie because
absolutely.
But a Madea movie, I think I'm good off of this. May have been. I'm curious to know where.
This is honestly one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
I want to see where. Wait till we start watching Tubi movies. I want to see where this ranks in terms of the general consensus of Madea movies.
Oh yeah,
I'm curious.
What's the average?
They
never rate well.
No. But in terms of people that are fans of Madea.
Oh yeah, this is my favorite Madea movie.
I want to know what
I got a box collection.
Yeah, I want to know what movies people like of Medea's and which ones are the worst ones. I would suspect that this is probably on the lower end for Madea fans.
Well, you know what I want is to anyone who's listening and watching this, I would love to hear recommendations.
Please leave them in the comments or wherever we post this.
Any movie that you think I would hate,
or
is not marketed towards me.
Yeah.
I will watch it for you.
Yeah,
We'll obviously take kind of like a pool and figure it out.
Yeah.
But I might surprise you that I watch a lot of movies that a lot of people wouldn't think that I would watch and that I would enjoy.
Yeah. I love that idea. Okay, let us know. Let us know in the comments.
But I think you know what this movie has been playing on my head for some reason.
Yes.
And I don't know why. What if we watched the 2008 I think version of Pride and Prejudice?
I'm down.
I'm down. All right.
Super down.
I think Chloe would really like that. She could watch it with us.
I am super down for
All
that.
right. Yeah, we're in it.
I think that's the next one, guys.
That is not our target.
That's the next one, guys.
Let's do it.
Let's do
All
it.
right. See us next time when we watch, I believe it's 2008.
2008
with Keira Knightley, who is recently going through some controversy, of Pride and Prejudice.
Let's do it.
We will see you then.
We will see you soon.
Till then, happy Halloween.
Yep. Bye, guys.
Bye.